It's clear that he has declared war on the Beshear family and the Beshear administration. It's also clear that apparently he has no intention of stopping.
Former Governor Steve Beshear firing back today against current Governor Matt Bevin's allegations of wrongdoing during the Beshear administration.
Beshear even went as far as to call Governor Bevin a bully. We have team coverage of our top story tonight, beginning with Hillary Thornton, who was at Beshear's news conference this morning.
Now, Matt Bevin's mad. He's mad that I didn't ride off quietly into retirement. I wanted to, believe me.
Former Governor Steve Beshear says holding a news conference like today's is the last thing he wanted to do.
Matt Bevin doesn't give me any choice because he started this food fight that he enjoys instead of governing.
The so-called food fight heating up, Beshear saying Bevin has declared war on his family and his administration.
He's also mad at the Attorney General, who happens to be our son, because the Attorney General is doing his job and challenging the governor on his unilateral, unconstitutional cuts to education.
Former Governor Beshear says the allegations and claims started the day that Matt Bevin took office here in Frankfort. He says they even included attacks against his wife. That coming after Beshear says he appointed his wife, Jane, a lifelong horse enthusiast, to an unpaid position on the Kentucky Horse Park Commission.
He immediately came out and said, what an embarrassment to the Commonwealth of Kentucky that the governor would appoint his wife. Well, what an embarrassment that a governor coming into office would take that kind of approach and that kind of attitude.
The former governor strongly denying claims and accusations by the current governor, going on an attack of his own, saying Governor Bevin coerced universities into that budget agreement, bullied Democratic legislators into switching parties, and is now unethically raising funds to cover his campaign debt.
State employees are being told that they will have a better chance of keeping their jobs if they donate to help Mr. Bevin retire his large personal campaign debt. Talk about intimidation. Talk about coercion.
In Frankfort, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Beshear did talk about Tim Longmire, his secretary of the Personnel Cabinet, who pled guilty to a bribery charge. Beshear said if they had knowledge of his criminal activity, he would have been fired on the spot. Governor Bevin is out of the country this week, but he and other Kentucky Republicans quickly responded to what former Governor Beshear said this morning. Our Sean Moody is at the live desk to continue our top story team coverage. Sean?
Hey there, Amber. A spokesperson for Governor Matt Bevin, as well as the Republican Party of Kentucky, said former Governor Steve Beshear is trying to protect his legacy. They said he couldn't offer any proof of his allegations against Bevin.
He could provide no examples, no evidence, no proof. This is purely a desperate man trying to cling to what is left of his public legacy.
Republican Party of Kentucky spokesman Trey Watson said Beshear is making these accusations to protect himself and the Democratic Party.
This is a governor who is desperate to keep the misdeeds of himself, his party, for more than 50 years in Frankfort in the shadows. They want to keep Kentuckians in the dark as to how they operated their government, how taxpayer dollars were used.
Jessica Ditto, a spokesperson for Bevin's office, said, quote, after a top-level appointment of both him and his son pleaded guilty to federal bribery last week, former Governor Beshear is merely trying to protect what is left of his legacy. Every wild, baseless accusation he has attempted to levy is not corroborated by any facts whatsoever. Governor Bevin is focused on the job the people of Kentucky elected him to do, which is to restore fiscal responsibility and create economic opportunity. He will let the investigation take its course and has said all he intends to say about this matter, end quote.
Trey Watson also criticized Beshear's decision to hold that news conference while Bevin was out of town on an economic development trip. Beshear said today that when he arranged that news conference, he wasn't aware that Bevin was out of the country. At the live desk, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Sean, thank you. We have much more coverage on this story. Just go to our website, WKYT.com.